Hi, Amena. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we're having another inspiring interview today that we're sharing with the leading ladies on Leading Ladies TV. Today we've got Amena Athman, and Amena's a really good friend, and she's got a beautiful story about life and growing up. And I hope that you all enjoy this afternoon. So, Amena, share your story with us.
Well, Amanda, thank you for having me. Amanda, I really don't know exactly where to start from because I it's always very difficult for me to talk about myself. But I am your everyday average woman. I come from Africa. I come from Kenya. It's my country. I live in Germany right now, but I come from Kenya. And I've always thought I'd write. Growing up as a little girl, I always wanted to write a book about my story because I thought, it's something that I wanted to share with the rest of the world. And but then again, sometimes you think, why would I want to write a book about this story? It's everybody else's story. Where I come from in Africa, it might be everybody else's story, so who might want to read about it? But then on the other side, I think, no, I really need to talk about this. How I grew up, and I always make fun about this. I say I wasn't the most beautiful girl in the world. And I grew up in a homestead where my dad would really make us feel very, very small. My dad was a typical African man back in the days who would think having a girl child, a girl child wasn't worth much. So, and I come from a family of 6 girls. So he never had a son. And for that reason, he felt the need to abandon us. So he left my mom raising 6 girls by herself. And which is kind of a relief for us when he left, because whenever he was there, he would make us feel very, very little. He would call us stupid, right in our faces, nothings, stuff like that, that really reduces your, you really grow up believing that you're nothing. But my mom still is a very loving person. She would make us feel very, very, very special. So picture this. This is me growing up. I've always been very short and plumpish, and I had these huge glasses. And well, I always say that I wasn't the most beautiful girl growing up, and I grew up in the ghetto. We go for days without food, Amanda. We didn't have much. We didn't have money. But we had a lot of love. My mom had a way of making us feel so special. And when we were together, we were happy. We didn't have much, but we were really, really happy. And, you grow up feeling kind of empty because your dad is not there, but kind of full as well because, like I said, as he left, we kind of felt relieved that he left because all of a sudden there was peace at home and everybody was laughing around and well, anyhow, so we'd go to school and people would talk about their families, their beautiful families. And my sisters and I had a very nice way of pretending. We'd pretend to people and give these make-up stories about our dad, a beautiful family and stuff like that, just to fit in. And I realized, Amanda, the one thing that I had, the one weapon that I had was what I had up here. But for some reason, I was smart, okay? I always brought home very good report cards. And I realized that was the one weapon that I had. And I made it my business to work very hard in school because my mama would walk the streets of Nairobi, which is my capital city, literally begging, knocking on people's offices, begging for school fees to pay for me and my sisters. Yeah, she would ask people, strangers and all, help me pay my children's school fees. And that for me, it gave me so much fire inside. I mean, if my mama can walk the streets asking for school fees just so I can go to school, the least I can do is work hard So I would work hard and work hard. And that was my weapon. And I realized I shined. I shined. Teachers loved me. And I might not have been the most beautiful girl, but for some reason, I commanded respect because of what I had up here. That was my one weapon, which I really loved. Yeah, so that's me growing up. And Amanda, it was tough, but it was nice. It's kind of a bittersweet experience. You know, for me, school was my playground. Being in class was my playground because I was the master there. Okay. And the moment we'd come out and go, school it was out and walking, going home, then reality would hit back that because I'm going back and I know that, you know, maybe there's no food this evening, maybe you're going to go to bed hungry and stuff like that. But I would read, Amanda. I would study. You know how I always talk to my kids nowadays because I'm a mother myself. I talk to my kids and I tell them, you guys need to study. As I was growing up, my mama would force me to go to bed. She would say, that's enough. Switch off the lights. Go to bed. And I would be like, I need to study. I have to study. Yeah. Because I always thought if I went to bed, that's time wasted. I need to sit up and study. So my mom would say, switch off the lights, go to bed. So, I mean, it was amazing. It was really amazing.
It's a really amazing story. I'm loving listening to it. I'm really curious as to how, I mean, there you are now, you're in Germany, you're doing really well, you've got lovely children. What was the sort of tipping point for you? What changed and took you from away from Africa?
Life has a way of turning things around, Amanda. Growing up, if you ever told me one day that I will, you know, visit the next country, you know, right across our border, I would say you're crazy because, I mean, we don't even have money to buy stuff. How do you think I'm going to get myself there? But life has a way of turning things around. I got older. I went to college, did my college, and then everything was fine. And I got a job. And life was finally looking up and things are, you know, starting to brighten up. And I had kids. And in 2002, I got a job at the leading mobile company in Kenya. Back then, mobile telephony was really, really new and big in Kenya. So I got a job there and it was really a dream job because I got the pay that I never thought I'd ever earn. I mean, it was fantastic. It was nice. Things were looking up. And one of my boys had a problem, let me put it this way. And I took him to the doctors, and the doctors told me that my son was suffering from autism. And I didn't know what that was. And I thought he was dying. Oh. And I remember sitting in the office and asking the doctor, oh, what? Oh, I never heard of this word before. I said, please write it down. So he wrote it down. And I read it and it said autism. And I turned and I looked at my son. And I looked at the doctor. I asked him, is he dying? I promise you, after that, I saw the doctor's lips move, but I didn't hear a word he said. He was trying to calm me down and tell me that you know, explain to me about autism. But in my mind, I could only hear bells ringing and the word autism repeat itself over and over and over again. And I'm looking at my son who's playing and jumping up and down. And I'm thinking, wow, you know, really? Anyhow, so years later, no, not really. Yeah, about a couple of months later, I realized, well, this is it. My son has autism. What does it mean? I took time to understand what autism meant. I did a lot of research and stuff like that. But then I came to a realization that I needed to make some decisions if I was going to help my son. I had to make some tough decisions, which I did. I decided to quit my job. I decided to quit my job so I can be a full-time therapist for my son. my profession, I'm an engineer by profession. So anything to do with nursing and therapy, that was totally new to me. I didn't know, I didn't have a clue. I just knew that this was my son, and I was going to do anything and everything that was needed to get him, the kind of help. So I quit my job, and everybody thought I'd gone crazy, and my mama cried. And my friends, they actually organized an intervention for me. One day, I think I'd gone someplace, and I came back home, and I realized my workmates had gone to my mom, and they were going to have this intervention. They were going to sit me down because they thought that I'd gone crazy. So they were going to do this very friendly, loving intervention to get me to go back to work. So anyhow, I'd made up my mind, and this is what I was going to do. And half of my friends thought I'd gone crazy. The other half thought I was sacked because nobody quit such a job, such a well-paying job. And I lost my friends. I lost everybody around me. The only people that were left by my side was my mama and my sisters. And the friends who really kind of tried to be there, but not really there, which I really understand. Maybe I would have behaved this. I have no idea. All I know is that I had my mama and my sisters behind me, and I was going to, and they didn't even understand what I was doing anyhow. I remember my mama saying, I don't really understand what you're doing, but if it's going to help your child, you go ahead and do it. And pray. Remember to pray. I come from a Muslim background, so my mama says pray. So years later, I came to Germany because this is where I was going to get help for my son.
Right.
The thought of coming to Germany, they don't speak English. But I was going to do that. It didn't matter. It didn't matter that they don't. I was going to learn the new language. I did. I did therapy on my son. And, Amanda, all this is to tell you that you can do anything that you want to do. It always starts from up here. Remember, if you have it here, you can move mountains. If this is me, Amena, the girl who came from a ghetto in Nairobi, living in Germany, doing therapy for my son and many other children, I promise you, anybody can do it. That's my message.
Oh, Amena, that was just amazing. And I know that you're doing amazing things for children with autism, both in Africa, where there isn't so much support, and that's why you needed to leave, and all over the world. And your son's doing really well.
My son is doing well, thank God. I became his therapist, and like I keep saying, life works mysteriously. I started out being my son's therapist. Now I'm helping many other families.
Yeah.
I always say this, Amanda. My son couldn't speak up to the age of about 5. I taught him how to speak. I always say I gave him a voice, and he gave me back my voice. Because growing up, I was, didn't have any self-confidence. No, so my son gave me this. He showed me that I could do this. So now I'm working with many other parents in Africa, especially in my country, and teaching them how to, home-based autism intervention skills.
Oh, you're such an inspiration. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Thank you.
What I will do as well is we'll put something on the website for people to look at the sort of fundraising and things you do for children with autism in Africa, because I know that's a big campaign for you. Amena, thank you so much. I've absolutely been thrilled listening to you this morning, and that just leads me to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and it's lovely talking to you. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we will see you again on Leading Ladies TV.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was horrible, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Apart from, you didn't use the word big tits this time.
I don't even know what I said right now. I'm so sorry. Did I spoil your
You
stuff?
were amazing, amazing, amazing.
Oh, okay.
It was so lovely. It was so lovely.
I hope
I'll
so.
thank you. Honestly, I don't think people are even to be honest. I mean, I don't think even people will be listening to what you're saying. Just watching your face is fabulous, and your expression and everything. It's beautiful. I If Oprah sees this, she'll want you on.
You're so nice, Amanda. You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, it's really. I'm going to send you the. I'll send you the clip.
I'm gonna tell you something, Amanda. You know, this is really nice. I have made friends with people. I think when I was growing up, if you ever told me that I'd have people like you as my friends, I would say, you really are crazy. Nobody would want to talk to somebody like me, let alone be my friend. So I just want to say thank you, Amanda. Thank you for being my friend. And many other guys that I met at the TT, you guys have no idea. I was sitting in that hall from the very first week, and I was looking around, and I was asking myself, is this really true? Am I really here? I can be in the same room as such people? Really? And I was in Kenya. I went to visit my mom over summer vacation, and I told her, I told her about the whole experience, and that I was at the stage speaking, and she said, "Seriously, you didn't die?" I didn't die because I've never been good at speaking to people. I've always been so afraid talking to people. I had a heavy tongue as a little girl. I couldn't pronounce S. I would say, TH instead of S. So to add that to all my other shortcomings, I mean, I never wanted to speak in front of people. Never. That was my nightmare. So one time in high school, my arts teacher made me do a part in a play. And parents were going to be there. And we were going to be up on stage. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. But she really made me do it. I didn't want to do it, but she made me. And it's not like I was going to be the only person on the stage. There were like many other people, but I would imagine they would only see me, nobody else. And I promise you, Amanda, when the curtains went open, I saw 1,000,000 people. I swear there were 1,000,000 people sitting in that hall. And I thought they were all looking at me like this. And when it came to my part, when I had to say something, I opened my mouth and not a word came out. Yes. And then there was this, for me, it was like hours, forever, but I think it was just a few seconds of awkwardness, silence, because people are waiting to hear what I have to say. And I'm, that has to be the ugliest moment in my life, really. Then a friend of mine swiftly moved in and said something I can't even remember. I just remember freezing. So speaking in front of audiences is something that I'm just learning right now. And that's why I really don't know how to speak to camera and stuff like that. But to have you, say stuff like that and it's amazing. Thank you.
You are amazing. Thank you. Honestly, I have goose pimples listening to you, and it's my honour to know you. It's fabulous. I love that. It's a great connection that we've all made, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And thank you for sharing today, because you're going to inspire other people, and you can feel the power today of what sharing your story feels like.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you. You have made my, I can feel. You've made my day. You've made my weekend. This is amazing. Thank you so much. And you look pretty.
Oh, you are beautiful. And I will send you this recording so you can see it. And I want you just to see what I see, which is beauty, clarity, energy. It's just wonderful. So please look at it through my eyes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda, thank you. Have a fantastic day. My regards to Terry.
Yeah.
And wow, thank you. Have a nice weekend, my dear.
Have a fabulous day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Ciao.